Yeah.
I'm peachy keen. How are you feeling about our accomplishment? 10 podcast episodes.
Oh my
Woohoo!
gosh, it feels so exciting. It feels so real. It feels so pro to have done a whole season together. And, you and I have been talking about this for years, this idea of having this podcast and doing something. And then when we were ready, we just launched out of the gate, and we've been kind of unstoppable.
I know, it's been so delightful. It was such a natural progression because we were already sort of podcasting just in private all the time about all these juicy topics. And it was like, let's open up this girlfriend talk to other people, especially of this certain age. It's like we don't talk enough. Everyone's getting a little bit quieter, a little more hush hush. And so going going loud and going live, like even this step we're taking today, just feels so great. It feels so empowering. And there's no one else I'd rather do it with than you, my friend. It's been
I
so
know.
fun. Such a
I,
fun journey.
I feel the same way. And since we have Amy here, Amy, I just want to say hi. And
Amy!
Amy! And I know other girlfriends will join us and find us here too. Amy, is there anything you want to say to us? We'll give her a chance to send that in the chat. It's
Love
so
it.
exciting. Yeah.
It's so exciting.
She says hi. Hi, Amy.
Hi, Amy.
And to all of our girlfriends of a certain age who are curious about this work and having a lot of fun at this stage of life in midlife,
Yes.
It's just, I don't know. I've been surprised by what a joy it is to be this age and have all these cool girlfriends who are also rocking it and owning their lives and professionally and otherwise.
Yes, it's been so fun, and sharing it with girlfriends and having them really be excited about the topics we're covering. That's just been so fun to get feedback. So it's like, that's what it's all about, is like having you all listen and join in the conversation. So, I mean, I've been getting it more like through text and in person, but it's just delightful to hear that people are listening and getting some good stuff out of it, which is our intention, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, should we share a little bit? We shared about why we're doing this, but let me ask you a quick question. Like, what has this whole process been like? What do you feel like at the end of season one, you understand now more that maybe you didn't at the beginning of season one? Like, what are you taking away from this first season?
Yeah, I think what I'm really understanding is how fundamentally unalone I am in the journey of embracing midlife and wanting to make a new story for myself and all of the women in my life.
Yes.
And how much they want it too. How much they too. I was at dinner like a week ago, and I was chatting with a woman who I do not know very well. And she's a little bit older than I am. I don't know exactly how old. She's through menopause. And we were sitting there I was eating Frito pie. She was eating a pizza, talking about menopause. She was sharing about the symptoms she had and just embracing her life. And she's like, and I don't care. I don't care about this and this and this and this. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm doing it. It's happening. We're sitting having dinner in public. There are men present. And here, this woman who I don't know very well is sharing with me about her menopause journey and saying, I want to be one of your girlfriends. I want to talk with you about that. I think it's totally normal. I wish that I had more people when I started. And I was like, yes. So that is what I understand more now, that we're ready to come out of the closet and stop hiding.
Come on out.
Like it's all shameful and weird and we're going to disappear and fall apart and be miserable.
Exactly. It's quite the opposite. And we really need to hold each other up. So I just love that, like with this woman who you like didn't know as well, it just all came out. I have to ask you, what is Frito pie?
Oh, Frito pie. So I'm in New Mexico these days, and Frito pie is a bed of Frito chips. It's this very uniquely New Mexican thing. And then they top it. So I'm vegetarian, so I get mine with just the beans in it. But it traditionally has like pinto beans and like ground beef or something like that in it. And then what they call chili here in New Mexico, which is different than what I grew up thinking chili was. where chili is just like the dried, chili pods ground up and made into a sauce. So red or green
Oh,
chili sauce and then drizzled all over it. And then usually has like cheese and raw onions, which I don't like, and lettuce.
my
It
God.
is like the crunchiest comfort food ever had. I love it.
That sounds amazing. In my
Yeah.
house, I discovered that, Frito scoopers, corn
Oh,
scoopers,
the bigger ones.
the bigger ones, if
Yeah.
you eat those with chili, which is what I think of more as like the bean with the meat chili or vegetarian chili, and you just use that as a spoon, it is delightful and a huge hit with the children. It is so fun. They'll scoop away and just like you said, that crunch. So thank you. Thank you for
Yeah,
that
you're welcome. You're welcome.
important tangent.
I love it. So what about you? What do you understand differently at the end of our first season?
Yeah, I think that diving into some of these topics that feel a little taboo or feel a little owie, it has really enabled me and I think in our community to look at these and go, "Oh, that's not so scary. Oh, that's not so bad. And hey, oh, we're all going through these feelings and changes together." So I think it's really made me feel brave, less fearful, less hush hush about it all. And there's a way that it's like been a release of this, I don't know, a little bit of like some sort of shame that you're carrying around when you are keeping all of that hush hush. And yeah, it's honestly, I just feel like it's a really great boost. And having you as a really great girlfriend, knowing that other great girlfriends are listening, that's what it's all about. I think that's where the healing comes in, is just sharing it together, saying it out loud, basically.
Absolutely. Just the other day, I was thinking of you brought up to me this idea of second puberty, and I was thinking about, why was I so excited about going to puberty? Why was I so happy? Why did I feel like I was climbing this cool mountain, and everybody was in it with me? And it was because we were all talking about it. We were all talking about, you're using tampons? How do you do it? What kind are you using? They have little ones for teenagers? Oh my gosh. I remember when I discovered they had these little teeny tiny maxi pads, like for like skinny teenage girls. And like my friend told me about it, and I had been using some big bulky thing. But we were talking about all of it, the symptoms. We were sharing what, so-and-so's aunt said, who's a doctor, and we were sharing all this information, and everybody was like, we all had our watches out, like we were all reading, "Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret." We were excited. And so I'm realizing I want to recreate that. I want to create a grown-up version. "Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret." But for the Gen Xers who were like, well, we're going to put that all out, that aside, and move into this cool new chapter.
Yes. Which reminds me that we are definitely seeking out some health experts to talk about the second puberty, right? To really talk about menopause. I mean, we sprinkle it in all throughout season 1, but to have like a formal discussion about menopause, and so that you all girlfriends can ask your questions and get some answers. So we're really excited in season 1 to do a deep dive with some experts about just that topic. But yes, I love that you're talking about that, Flesché, that when we got our periods, it was, even though a little weird and awkward and, made us feel something different, by sharing together, literally sharing tampons, literally being like, "Oh my gosh, do you have something?" Remember that feeling? And sometimes you'd even have to ask someone you didn't know very well, but it was just this like sisterhood feeling of like, "Here you go." Oh,
the pass under the stall.
Yes.
Through the screen, I feel like I'm handing you one.
Thank you, girlfriend. Oh my God.
Anytime.
Yes, and it's like whatever brand. You're just like, cool. Oh my God, I'll make it work. Yeah. I love it.
Well, it's so funny. One time someone handed me a brand. I was like, "Oh, I don't like these." And I had to use it. And I was like, "Oh, wait, I didn't like it 12 years ago, but now it actually works really well." So it's just so funny.
Yes.
It's just such a funny journey.
such a funny journey. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like being in discussion about it and being honest. And also, I think we don't know everything about this second puberty, even though we're adults, right? So I think when you're, 12, 13, whatever age it is, you're still learning. Your brain knows that you have so much to learn. And I wonder if there's this feeling of like, well, I should just have this all figured out. Like, ooh, I don't want to talk about these topics. Like, I don't know what to do. And that makes me feel weird. But I love framing it as a second puberty. Or I may have mentioned when I went in for some acupuncture, when I was really having some of those perimenopausal symptoms, that the acupuncturist said, oh, in Chinese culture and in Chinese medicine, we refer to this menopause as your second spring. And what do we get out of a deep spring? We get depth, we get knowledge, we get wisdom, but we have to like go through it and, I don't know, swim in the spring to feel that way. And I also loved that name, second spring. And I know you and I have been throwing around some different terms. Menopause? I mean, really?
No.
We don't love that term. I mean,
we
we're sort of stuck with it.
Sexier and more playful. We need something more playful.
We do. So
more
if it's
fun.
Second spring, if it's second puberty, I don't know if you all have ideas. Like if you're watching this on the broadcast, share some ideas because menopause has got to go. I'm sorry.
So, okay, I need to clarify. Second spring meaning a deep well of water or the season? Because when you told me that initially, like 6 months ago, I thought it was the spring, the season.
Oh, that's fascinating. It must be. But I went ahead and thought of it as a spring, like a deep spring. Where's my brain? Interesting. I almost had this idea of like, it's like a bridge, like a passing through a spring. But you're right. It's the second spring of a season. But maybe it's the Pisces in me, but I totally went to the water reference.
That is
funny. Open to interpretation, I guess, but much more beautiful any way you look at it than menopause.
Yeah. Well, and I think part of the word is like just the cultural connotation. And that it's always been hushed, or that even like my own doctor who I saw a year ago was like, how's it going? Whispering at me. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Oh no. If you're talking about what I think you're talking about and you have to whisper, I am in trouble. I need a doctor pronto. I need to get out of here. And I think I did shame her a little bit because of the feedback she gave me, which is going to be a whole other episode we have where we all get to share our horror stories of what different things doctors have said to us, because I think that's another collective healing that we all need to be able to work our way through.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I also changed a doctor who, when I asked about some of the symptoms that were really difficult for me, just said, oh, you just got to suck it up and deal with it. This is what women do.
Ooh.
And then changing to a doctor who was like, oh my gosh, let me tell you about all the options and treatments and therapies.
Yeah. There's going to be an intense podcast where all the ladies get to get a few things off dust. And I almost want it to be like an open letter to gynecologists everywhere. This is what you've been doing to us, and it needs to stop.
Yes.
In fact, it will stop because we will vote with our feet and leave in our little paper dresses.
Marching down the hallway, our butts exposed.
Stop looking at my ass. Or God, look at it.
No kidding.
I know.
I love it.
Oh, honey. And so I love how we just bring our friendship right into this live feed. And
gotta keep
oh my
it
gosh,
fun.
it's such a gift to have known you for so long. And so I'm looking through photos for a photo gift that I'm putting together for somebody. Came across a bunch of our old photos of us dancing in our sexy skinny jeans and our sexy tops, and I was like, oh wow, I forgot I used to go out braless. Wow. I mean, actually, I still do go out braless, but I wear usually things that like cover up, so like No one's like staring at you. But
The headlights, right.
I was going through those photos and I was like, I started saving them because I thought, oh, we need to have some kind of montage and share that with our girlfriends, here on this platform and the podcast
Ooh,
and on
yes.
YouTube, because it's just such a part of, I think too, like seeing the photos, you got to see part of the connection, right? There's just this heart connection between us.
Yes. Yes. I loved those dancing days because we had like a group of fun dancing girlfriends and we'd go have some dinner and we'd have some girlfriend talk and whatever we were processing, because that group went through a lot, right?
Oh
There
yeah.
were some separations, there were some, big topics going on there, but then we'd go dance it out. And
We
how
could dance
healing
it
to
out.
just like hit the dance floor. And we were really dancing with each other. We were like, we're not really here for anyone else. This is all
Oh
about
no,
us
we
just
were
like
getting all dolled
taking
up
it.
and sexy for each other. Like this was
Right.
like, oh no, yeah, absolutely. In fact, it was kind of funny to like go out and, of course, like the
Totally.
response from men in the club, and we're like, no, it will be none of
I know,
that.
I know.
We're like this tight little unit. There were five of us, right?
There
Yeah,
were.
five. And I remember that, like, yeah, it was about us.
Yes, and we all had that love of dancing. I know. I remember leaving like my new husband and being like, "Bye, honey, I'm going out to the club." But you know what? Truthfully, Paul he's just not a dancer. He's many a wonderful thing. So he was so relieved. He was like, okay, I know you got to go do your thing. Go, so it was like, go have fun, and I'd come home so much happier every time. Like,
Oh yeah. No,
woo!
Jacob was the same way. Although Jacob does like to dance, but he didn't want to do any of that. He was so happy that I could go and have that experience and come back all juiced up and
Yeah,
just so happy. And it was funny. I'd come home at 2, 3 in the morning, and he was just like, "Cool, she's back. She's safe.
I
She
know.
had fun.
The
I'll hear
thought of
about it
doing
in the
that
morning."
now, 10 p.m.
Oh,
is the new 2 a.m. I'm sorry. I dance in my kitchen now, but I still dance with love and passion. Hey, I was thinking about Jacob because at your 40th birthday, which was quite a few moons ago, I'll never forget that we we went to a great space in San Francisco, a space that actually I had been using for my mommy and baby music class, which you were also a part of. And
oh yeah.
will never forget that Jacob took over a whole back room for you and created like a dance club. And he went all out. He had lights. He put in these incredible lights. I remember I helped make the hip hop playlist. I was like, what do you want to dance to? You were like, girl, hip hop, please, So we queued that all up. I remember there was like a beautiful taco bar in the first part of the studio, and we were all grubbing, and it was just like a total love fest. But I'll never forget Jacob like really taking the dance atmosphere seriously. And I
You
do
got
actually,
it.
now that you say it, remember him getting down. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
part of how he got my attention, because he's very reserved, very quiet, and one day because we met through a bunch of friends, and of course there was dancing involved in everything I was doing back then, and we started dancing, and I was like, "Who's this guy? He's got some moves."
Bust a move.
He must have moved,
Bust a
and
move, Jacob.
but it's so sweet that you brought that up because yeah, it did feel like such an honoring of me, of like who I really am for, and
Yeah.
what even at 40 what I still really wanted to be doing, and that he made this way for everyone to come together and do it, and in this really nice environment. It was so great. And of course that was before I had kids. No, I had my
No,
youngest.
you
Oh
were,
no, that's right. I had a babysitter at home with my baby. Oh,
yes.
right. It was before baby number 2, but yeah.
But that's
Mhm.
all the more reason to dance. I think
Exactly.
oftentimes, moms with young children are like, get me out. I need to release some energy and some pent up feeling. So, yeah, that was great. And then the other memory I was thinking about, if you don't mind me going into that one, was same space in Mission District, right? This cool studio was like a dance space. I think my cousin Sarah Barca turned me on to it, and we had my Rockin' Robbins music class that
Right.
you helped me run business wise, which was brilliant. So shout out to you. And then you brought little Elliot. And, this was pre COVID baby music classes. So it's like we were passing out the shakers, we were passing out the maracas. Babies were basically like licking on them the whole time. I would wipe them down afterwards. And we'd go through and have this delightful music class. And you and I laugh about this fact all the time, was that when we would start singing some of our songs, Elliot really enjoyed them, but he sure did not. Your son did not want you singing. And your son, did he even put his hand on your mouth?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. And then, before he could talk, he would sign. He wanted to go, like, I want, because I would stop singing. It's like, okay, you won't stop singing. We need to leave. And I was like,
Mama,
dude,
no.
You're like 1. How are you going to try to boss me around? But yeah, he wanted to sing. He wanted to rock out. It's like he intuitively knew this was a special thing for him. And I was taking up too much space singing my little heart. Like, I want to rock out to the Wheels on the Bus too, homie.
Seriously, that was such a fun class, and there was always some little baby mommy, thing going on. But that's like, my own kids would tell me to stop singing. I'm like, I'm a trained professional vocalist. What are you talking about? But if you're mommy to them, they don't care. They don't care what you sound like.
They really don't.
So same studio the day, and then the night where we turned into disco divas. I love it.
Well, it's funny. I remember a dance party at your place too. I think it was for your man's birthday. It was
for my 40th.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was your, okay.
You showed up as a surprise because I didn't think you could make it for some reason. And then you and Jacob showed up, which was so fun.
We did. I just like that we just got to keep doing it, and pretty soon you and I will be in the same city again. And I see some more, maybe it'll be like 10 p.m. dancing, but I see some more of that in our future.
Yeah.
Some kind of
I also see another big number birthday coming up for some of us pretty soon. So we need to start thinking about what's going to happen then.
I keep thinking about that hashtag, like with Gwyneth Paltrow, this is 50. I'm like, you go, girl. Yeah, that's 50. I'm going to use it too when I turn 50. This is 50.
Yes. Well, we'll have to podcast about what 50 means to us, right? What does that symbolize to women? Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Oh,
love it.
We did it. We live. It's our first time.
Went live.
It feels like such a party. It feels like a real celebration.
It does. It really does. And we want to thank you all if you're, again, watching the rebroadcast. This is new. This is our first experiment with this all, just like season 1. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for giving us your time. It's really for us, about propping each other up, about celebrating our full selves, the good and the bad and the goofy and just all of it, and just having an honest chat with one another. So we just can't tell you how happy we are to have this girlfriend circle with you.
Yeah, so beautiful. Share your feedback and your comments with us. Share this with a girlfriend who needs to hear this, who also needs some lightness, some other girlfriends to kind of lighten her heart, lighten her day, and to help her remember that she is not alone. She's not alone in this journey. And we are here for all of it.
Yeah. So some ways you can find us, obviously here on Instagram, Girlfriends of a Certain Age. You can find us over on YouTube by the same channel's name. And we're also on a podcast that you can find anywhere you listen to podcasts now.
That's a brand new thing. That's brand new too. Oh my gosh. Right. Yeah.
We originally were just on 1 or 2 channels. And now we're everywhere broadcasting, which is really, really exciting.
Everything's growing so fast. It's growing very, very quickly. So hats off to, of course, you for doing this journey with me, but also to all the women who have been supporting us and leaving reviews on our podcast platform and on YouTube and even here on Instagram. We love you guys. We wouldn't be here without you. So we're going to go live again next week as we wrap up and do our final end of the season of season 1. So I can't wait for that. So tune in again then for us live and
on Monday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So we'll give you all that time to log in. So that is going to be on the 21st.
Yeah. And Amy's got to run. So Amy, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks,
and
Amy.
Yes, girlfriend, come have some Frito pie with me. I can't wait. Can't wait. I love being on this journey with you as well. So till next time, ladies, we love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.